Today is December 29th, 2014. 3 days left of this year, including today. Something within me is calling my attention to myself. Sounds very narcissistic, but I don't mean it in that way. I mean that I have been unconsciously feeding something. I've been eating more than I should. I've been eating when I'm not hungry. And those things to me are signs that something needs feeding, something needs fulfilled. And so I get very introspective this time of year. Before I outgrow my clothing, I probably should take a little more time to analyze and look at my life and what is it that I need and what is it that I'm not getting. So this year, I've read some interesting studies on nutrition that talk about fasting and the benefits of fasting and what happens metabolically, what happens in our physiology, our body, when we fast. And there's a regenerative process, and I don't have the studies here. I don't even have internet, so I can't even pull them up, but I will find them and put them below this video. If you click show more, you'll find a couple sources. Interestingly enough, when we are sick, oftentimes food is the last thing that we want. And maybe that's our body's own wisdom of telling us we need to fight this, whatever it is, and we need to regenerate. And so the study is fairly compelling. So today's the 29th, tomorrow's the 30th, and then the 31st, I am going to forego food for the end of this year. And as a way to kind of metabolically start the new year fresh and renewed. I do love the concept of resolutions. However, we all know that they last maybe 3.5 weeks, and that's about it. I think that's even a long time for the average resolution. It might last 10 days. But most resolutions are made like, I want to lose weight, I want to get more fit, I want this or that. And they're addressing a symptom and not a cause. So if you dig a little bit deeper and you find a cause, and that's a resolution, it's something that is much more attainable. By nature, I'm a materialistic person, and I don't like that. I'm also very much a spiritual person, and it's not something, these two things cannot cohabitate. You either are high materialistic, low spiritual, high spiritual, low materialistic. They're two sides of the coin. So for me, in my 42nd year of life, I've had a lot of focus on the material, and I want that focus to be minimized. And I want my focus to be more on my spiritual well-being and my spiritual development. And so for me, I'm going to focus on the material as this is like a consequence of this not being a priority, right? 2015 is going to be the year of conscious buying. I've done this in subsequent years. I believe I did it in 2012 and 2013. I did not do it this past year. But what that means for me is anything that is a non-essential, and essential, I'm going to use essential loosely. Anything that is a non-necessary item that I purchase, I'm going to take $5 as my penalty tax and put it in a jar. And what that does is it just makes me more aware that I'm buying non-essentials. It's just something that works for me personally. Non-essentials for me are things like art and kitchen equipment and stuff that I have plenty of that I do not need. I may think I need it, but I don't really need it. So when I did this in 2012 with my friend Craig, he was trying to quit smoking. And so every single cigarette had a $5 tax for him, which was huge. So he's in South Africa. And his year end was like $2,000 or something outrageous. Like that was his penalty money. And so we decided before the year started that we were either going to give the money to charity or we were going to buy art with it. And now I know those two things are not really the same. One is definitely for our benefit, the buying of art, because we have beautiful art that we get to see. The other is to help others. So how we rectified that is artists, Craig and I are both artists, and we're both art appreciators. So artists oftentimes are self-employed, and a lot of times they're unable to support themselves on their art, which is their true calling, their nature. So supporting artists to us is a priority. So what we did at the year end is we split it. Half of the money went to charity and half went to a piece of art. And now I have this piece of art in my living room, and every time I see it, I think of that year of conscious buying, is what I called it. So that's going to be my goal for 2015, is I'm going to go back to my conscious buying. And when I buy something that is not necessary, whether it be something that costs, under $1 or something that's fairly extravagant, the tax is the same. It's $5 and I make a ledger of it, and I can go back at the year end and look and see what it is that I bought. So that's my 2015 and my kind of recap and closing of 2014. And if you're interested in joining me and you want to have your own conscious buying year, or if it's something else that you want to cut out of your life or you want to draw attention to or just be more aware of, you can create your own year in reflection. So yeah, join me. And people ask me all the time, well, what's essential? What's not essential? That's not for me to decide. That's for you to decide. And we all know what we need and what we don't need. And we all know what we want to be more of and what we want to reduce in our life. And so let that be your guide. And I hope you have a wonderful 2015. And likely this video, it's probably well into 2015 by the time you're seeing this. But know that any day and every day we get to wake up and choose how we want our life to be. And it doesn't have to start on January 1st. You can start changing your life right now. So my wish for you in 2015 is that you become the person that you know you can be, that you want to be. And thank you for being here. And I wish you the very best in 2015.